Sunday. Wildcard weekend is here, ladies and gentlemen. The Philadelphia Eagles play the San Francisco 49ers at home on Sunday, 4:30 in a big spot. And listen, everybody, if you're an Eagles fan, this is exactly what you were waiting for. This is the time of year where you can forget about the regular season. You can forget about what the numbers look like, what the stats look like, what the team looks like. It's a new day, a new season. Everybody has a record of 0-0 when it comes to the playoffs. And all you need to do is go on a run in order to do something special and make it a special year. Philadelphia is favored by 4.5 points. Obviously, because they're playing at home. And listen, playoff football at the Link, ladies and gentlemen, we all know as Eagle fans is a different beast. And I don't think San Francisco has the talent to be able to go on the road, cross country, at Lincoln Financial Field with guys on rest to be able to pull out a victory. Now, I am also not going to sit here and say it's going to be an easy win for the Philadelphia Eagles, because it's not. I believe, as a fan, watching teams play in the playoffs, experience matters. And the San Francisco 49ers, as much as anybody in the NFC, have experience like the Philadelphia Eagles, like the Rams, and really more than anybody else, quite frankly, including the Rams and the Eagles. Both teams are very playoff experienced. They know what it takes to win in big spots. Brock Purdy is a quarterback that's been there and done that. Kyle Shanahan, his issues have never really been wild card weekend or the divisional round. It's been more of those big games like the Super Bowl or the NFC title games. And honestly, they've gone to so many. And I mean, similar to like an Andy Reid type of track record, right? The experience that the Niners have matter. And getting them as a first round matchup, while I know Eagle fans are feeling really excited about it, I'm not going to lie. It's a game where I look at and say, it's not going to be so easy for the Eagles to go out and win this ball game. Do I believe they will do it? Yes. And we're going to talk about the reasons why. Because quite frankly, not only is there a talent discrepancy, but the matchups that these teams have in terms of what their strengths are versus what their weaknesses are, I just believe favors the Philadelphia Eagles. Quarterback to quarterback, both are experienced, both have their limitations, both can play. I think are really good quarterbacks. I think they're a push, they're a wash. I give my, I'll call that a push for them, okay? Wide receiver talent, it's no brainer. It's in Philadelphia, and we like Juwan Jennings, a really good player. The San Francisco 49ers don't have anybody on the outside that actually gives you cause to pause or gives you a moment of fear. Yes, is the first-round draft pick in the Ricky Pearsall and then Juwan Jennings, but outside of that, there's really no guy on that team that scares you on the perimeter. George Kittle's not the same player that he was a few years ago, and he's quite frankly not the same player without that elite wide receiver threat on the outside. If they had a Brandon Ayuk or if they had another wide receiver, maybe we'd be talking a different ball game on the offensive side of the ball. And quite frankly, Trent Williams is hurt. He's got a hamstring injury. He's questionable. He was limited in practice. Let's pull up the injury report. ESPN. Questionable on Thursday, Trent Williams, George Kittle, Thursday injury report. Now, is this a little bit of gamesmanship by the San Francisco 49ers? Probably. I'm pretty sure that those two gentlemen are going to play on Sunday. However, if it is true that they have a hamstring compromisation, that's all, folks. I'm only kidding. If there is a compromised hamstring for Trent Williams, Hall of Fame, the best tackle of my lifetime that I have seen play. Yes, that means better than Lane Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. Trent Williams is one of the greatest football players we've ever seen, okay? The San Francisco 49ers must have Trent Richardson. If he's compromised in any way and he somehow has to leave the field, there's no shot the Niners win this ball game. Zero, zilch, nada, zippo. However you want to say zero or zero, that is the chance that they have to win this ball game if Trent Williams is not in the lineup. He must be in for the Niners to have any sort of shot at winning this game. But I think Philadelphia is going to win this ball game. And like I mentioned before, I'm going to tell you the reasons why. But before we do that, let me introduce you to the show. This is the Riding the Bench Eagles podcast. I am your host, Asif Badi. And like you, I am a Birds fan and talks about the Birds, only the Birds, and nothing but the Philadelphia Eagles. So please do us a favor here. Help us grow this channel organically by shooting this video a thumbs up, commenting your thoughts in the comment section below, and subscribing to the channel. Also, check us out on audio platforms such as Apple Podcasts and Spotify and leave a 5-star review, because in the end, it doesn't cost you a damn thing to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We appreciate your support. We appreciate your support on the opposite side of the camera and on the opposite side of the airwaves. Jeez Louise, this playoffs has got me so fired up I can't even freaking talk. Take a sip of the water and we'll get right back into analysis. Cogent and thorough analysis. Okay. Like I mentioned before, if Trent Williams is hurt in any capacity and he's not able to play at his optimal form, Niners have no shot, okay? And the reason I say that is because not only is Trent Williams just one of the elite tackles of our lifetime in the history of the NFL, he's also just one of the best tackles the Niners have ever had in history, but he's so important to their running game. He's so important to the stability of the offensive line in San Francisco. They base a lot of their running game, not only just around Christian McCaffrey, and we're going to get to him in just a moment, but it's based on the idea that, hey, we got Trent Williams and you don't. Let's just run behind him. Let's have him pull. I mean, I've never seen an offensive coordinator design an offense where the left tackle, pulls and becomes the lead blocker on plays because the guy can just move like a gazelle. He's an unreal football player. And when the Niners are cooking, it's because he is churning and he is playing at an elite level. And he's always been an elite player and played at an elite level throughout his career. But when the San Francisco 49ers got him from Washington in that trade, their franchise changed completely. And when he's out on the field, they are a force to be reckoned with, okay? But like I said, hamstring injuries compromise your form. It compromises your ability to run. It compromises your ability to pull, to slow down, to explode. All the things that you need to be able to do as an offensive lineman, whether dropping back to drop in pass protection or you have to lead and explode in the running game. That hamstring, if anybody's ever pulled a hammy before, let me tell you, not the most fun feeling at all. You really can't do much when you get a good pull, when you get a good strain, when you get a good injury in the hamstring. Okay? So that's rule number. That's one of my key factors in this game. Trent Williams' health. He's not fully healthy. They're already compromised in the talent department. Trent Williams not being healthy does not help the Niners. The other thing that I want to talk about in this game that I think favors Philadelphia is the matchup between coaches and Kyle Shanahan and Vic Fangio versus KP and Robert Saleh. Now, I think in a nutshell, the coaching staff for the Niners might be able to outlast Philadelphia in terms of offensive staff. Okay? Kevin Patula does not know what he's doing. I think we've established this not only over the course of the year in hindsight, but that last week in Washington highlighted that the guy does not have a feel for calling a game. He just doesn't. And Kyle Shanahan's the complete opposite. The man throughout the NFL is respected for the idea of being able to milk out the best of the talent that's available to him, and his feel for how to call a game in the first 3.5 quarters. It's as good as it gets. Nobody does it better. in terms of play calling, according to most. I believe there are a few, but that's neither here nor there. Point being is he's highly respected, and he is one of the best play callers and offensive designers and best coaches in the NFL. However, he is going up against Vic Fangio and that defensive crew that he's got over there. Billy King, Clint Hurt, Christian Parker, Vic Fangio. That's one hell of a coaching staff that you got on the defensive side of the ball to attend with. And we've seen all, and Eagle fans know McVay, LaFleur, McConnell, Shanahan, all of these guys revere Vic Fangio. The one defense that they don't want to play against, that frustrates them the most, is a Vic Fangio scheme. When done correctly, it is as good of a scheme as you can have in the NFL when you have the talent at your disposal. And in Philadelphia, it's not short of talent on the defensive side of the ball. Every level, there's players that can truly play, and you could argue are Pro Bowler caliber type players. Good Lord almighty. Can't speak, I swear. Might as well just chug the water. His scheme gives Kyle Shanahan problems. It gives anybody who runs that kind of offense problems. The Kyle Shanahan offense, ladies and gentlemen, is predicated on timing. It's predicated on pre-snap reads, and it's predicated on the quarterback to be able to say, this is what the coverage is. I'm going to throw the ball here at this point on this part of my drop back, and the guy's going to be able to anticipate the throw and complete the pass. Vic Fangio's scheme is designed to come in a cover 2 base shell, 2 safeties high, but change the second the ball is snapped. And that confusion in today's NFL makes the quarterback on the opposing team hold it longer. And when you hold the ball for too long, here becomes key number 3, the interior pressure of the defensive line in Philadelphia becomes problematic. And I will say this, a trend that maybe a lot of people don't look at. Think about every team that has gone out and won Super Bowls with an S, multiple Super Bowls. What's the one thing that they all have in common? Yes, they have quarterback play. Yes, they have elite head coaching. But on the defensive side of the ball, it's not just defensive pass rush. It's interior pressure. Interior pass rush is the key to be able to offset quarterback's rhythm and timing. Having Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Muro Ojomo on the interior, rushing the quarterback, can really wreck a game plan for a team that's predicated on timing and efficiency and being savvy. Those 3 defensive linemen can muck a game up. We saw it last season in the playoffs against the Rams. Jalen Carter, if it weren't for his play, the Rams would probably be the 2024 NFL champions. But Jalen Carter put a stop to that because of interior pressure. He got to the quarterback, inerrant throw, and there you have it, ball game. The interior pressure for Philadelphia is going to be a problem for the San Francisco 49ers to stop. They don't have interior offensive linemen that can protect Brock Purdy. And Brock Purdy, here's the other key factor in this game. Controlled scrambles versus panic scrambles. Now, I know we didn't really talk a lot about on the Philadelphia Eagles side of the offense, but Jalen Hurts, one thing you know for sure he's going to do is not panic. And when he scrambles, if he does, it's never out of control. There's always purpose behind the scramble. And he seems to understand the way the game is flowing. That's one thing you have to give him credit for. And it's one thing that I value and respect about Jalen Hurts. He manages the game well, does not lose you games for the most part. And When he has to use his legs, he will, and use them effectively. Brock Purdy, on the other hand, is not a natural scrambler. He's a guy that can scramble, can buy time with his legs, and there are times where he is spectacular. Like that one game in Chicago, that one play where he's avoiding the pass rush, he's rushing left, he's spinning, and he finds the open man in the left corner of the pylon. It's great. But he also has the tendency to have a Josh Allen type, Matt Stafford type panic scramble where he's sitting back there, reading the defense, holding the ball a little too long, and thinks he's a little bit more crafty than maybe he actually is. And you'll see it in his eyes at times. And when that panic scramble occurs, the tendency to throw interceptions goes through the roof. And with this Philadelphia Eagles defense and Vic Fangio and the way he's going to design the game plan, he's going to force Brock Purdy to throw it. And if you force him to throw it over the middle, you're telling me there's not going to be an inerrant throw? You're telling me there's not going to be a mistake made, especially if Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Moro Ajomo all have a good game, which is possible against this offensive line. If there's one thing you really can't question in Philadelphia, it's the defense. The offense is a whole different ballgame. Because quite frankly, the offense doesn't necessarily exploit bad defenses, but you get Brock Purdy to scramble a little bit more, force a turnover here and there, and all of a sudden the offense can gain a little bit more confidence and say, hey, let's really put it on them. And because they're healthier, you're getting Lane Johnson back. They all had a week off, and according to Brian Baldinger, reports are in the locker room that the rest did them justice. It was exactly what they needed for the offensive line. And if that means a better push up front, and if that means that Saquon Barkley can get a little bit more loose, the San Francisco 49ers have no answer for the Philadelphia Eagles in this ball game. The line's at 4.5. I do like the line. I'm probably going to take the points for the San Francisco 49ers. I do think they're good enough because that offense is good. Kyle Shanahan is really good at what he does. I just don't think the Niners have the talent to match Philadelphia. And I think the coaching matchup with Kyle versus Vic Fangio, while it might be a push in terms of schematics and mentality of the coaches, the players will dictate whether or not that's a true push. The execution on the defensive side of the ball this year for Philadelphia is nothing short of sensational. Since the bye week, they've been virtually the best defense in all of football. We're going to win this game in Philadelphia because the defense did its job. We are a defensive-minded football team who can run the ball on occasion and has a quarterback who in big spots and in big moments, we all can trust. And at least at the link, because ironically, Philadelphia has never won a playoff game on the road. In the Sirianni Hurts era, I should say. This Sunday, the Philadelphia Eagles are going to win this ball game. They're going to go and start a potential playoff run that will be in a conference that's as open as ever. And like I mentioned at the top of the show, experience matters. Being a team that's been there and done that matters. And when you knock off a team like the Niners who have the pedigree that they've had in terms of being playoff contenders and having experience like that, that's a huge confidence boost. It is. So again, I got Philadelphia winning this ball game 26-20. Like I said, I shouldn't say that. I'm not going to say it's an easy win, but I feel very confident in this game. And I'll modify my score just to match the spread. 26-21. I'll keep it that way just so it keeps the 4.5 going. But Albeit, I think Philadelphia is going to win this ball game. I think there's too much talent, too much firepower, and I think the coaching staff and the coaching matchup on the defensive side of the ball versus the Niners' offensive scheme and their coaching staff, I think it's enough to be able to get through the first round of the playoffs. And in Philadelphia, if you get through the first round of the playoffs and you have a feeling of confidence that you're going to be able to go on a run, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit for this Philadelphia Eagles football team, and maybe, just maybe, they'll go on another run in a weak NFC. So those are my thoughts on this game. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section below. And the next time you see me, I will either be a very, very happy Eagles fan because we won the football game, or I will be terribly, terribly saddened because we have been sent home. But regardless, we hope you enjoy all of Wildcard weekend. We hope you enjoy football. And then on Sunday afternoon, that early Sunday evening, everybody, fly Eagles fly, go Birds.
Hey, thank you so much for watching the Riding the Bench Eagles podcast. If you want to continue to support the channel, please hit the like and subscribe button down below. Also, check us out on Instagram and TikTok at Riding the Bench Eagles Pod. We're also on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, you name it, we're on there. Thank you so much for listening, and please join us next time here at the Riding the Bench Eagles Podcast.